Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please take your seats. Programming is about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. If everybody could please take their seats. We will begin programming in 15 seconds. If everybody could please take their seats. Thank you so much. Welcome to the 25th anniversary of SACSS.
Hello, everybody. I know we're a very chatty crowd, but if you can please take your seats, we'd love to begin the program. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I'll give you a few seconds to settle in. It is so great to see so many familiar faces here, and welcome to the 25th anniversary Gala of the South Asian Council for Social Services. I didn't know that I was up there, but thank you. My name is Chanel Call. I'm a correspondent at CBS News, and I am so thrilled and honored to serve as your MC tonight. Like a lot of you in this room, I come from an immigrant family, and we moved to North America with nothing. I know that a lot of you will relate to this story, but my mom is Sri Lankan, my dad is Indian. They met in the Middle East, they fell in love, they had me, and then around the time that I was born was when the Gulf War started. And it was at that point that my parents made a big decision to leave everything that they knew and felt comfortable in and start all over again. And we had this uncle that was living in Toronto at the time, and so like most Desi parents, they were like, let's go where he went. And so we got in a plane, we went to Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We got there, my parents, they rented this tiny little apartment in Mississauga, Ontario. And my dad got a job at a mall, and he was selling fur coats. My mom, and she will kill me for sharing this, but she got a job at Taco Bell because that's what you do. And my young memories of moving and starting all over again were such a struggle. Like, I think it just describes what we all have come to understand as the immigrant struggle, because no one was there to help us. No one was there to help my parents get a job or make an introduction or find an apartment, or even to help them navigate some of the really new and complicated systems that exist in North America. I mean, systems that were not created for people that look like us. And so I remember always thinking that everything that they learned along the way, they had to learn the hard way. And I could never understand why. All of these years later, I moved to New York City, and I met some folks who told me about SACSS and the incredible work that this organization does. And I remember thinking about those early days in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, thinking I wish this sort of thing existed for my parents at that time. And I am just so delighted to share that I have learned the types of programming that they do are so in need. They help families find jobs, access healthcare, and put culturally connective food on the table. And this is so important because so many of us will understand, like, do you remember how hard it was to find your first place to get your eyebrows done? Or find, where you can find the right spices? And with the help of these fine folks at SACSS, you don't need to look too far. And I think that's the really beautiful thing about what they do. Another thing that I really love about SACSS is something that I find when I meet people in New York City is they don't always understand just how diverse and complicated the South Asian community is. People just think butter chicken. And it's like, there's so much more, And so I really appreciate that SACSS comes at this with a really holistic approach. I mean, their volunteers speak 20 different languages, and I really am excited to share this fact. In the last 25 years, SACSS has served over 1 million immigrant New Yorkers. 1 million. It's really impressive. And so tonight we're going to celebrate all of these incredible milestones. But before we start, I need you to all do me a favor. I know you guys all have smartphones. I need you to pull them out, and I need you to follow. Well, you can follow me, but let's flip to the next slide. I need you to follow SACSS so that all of you in this room can also stay up to date, stay in the loop with all of the incredible work that this organization is up to. So please go ahead and do that. Now, to finally kick tonight off, I am delighted to introduce really the force behind this organization, someone who has played such a key role in the growth and impact, especially in the last few years. Here is SACSS Board President Devi Ramchandran.
Good evening. Oh, it's too loud. So as she said, I'm Devi Ramchandran, and I'm really honored to be here tonight as the president of the board of SACSS, but more importantly, as a longtime supporter of SACSS. As you all know, this is a 25th year celebration, and in South Asian years, that means, let's see, we should be married by now, have at least one PhD, and be well on our way to explain to our children why they should all be doctors. So when I look around this room, it's filled with vibrant colors, many languages that I recognize, laughter, and generations of stories. I feel immense pride and deep gratitude to be here tonight, because this is not just a 25th year birthday party, guys. This is a celebration of resilience, culture, identity, and how far we've all come together. So my parents immigrated to this country in the 70s with 3 young children. It was a different time, in many ways simpler. But my parents still had to navigate a new life in a new place. Today's environment, in so many other ways, can be less hospitable to the more recent transplants to this country. Support systems are letting people down, and language and culture and access are proving to be barriers rather than bridges. Recognizing this need was one of the main reasons that SACSS was founded. And luckily, SACSS is this bridge that spans generations, and it builds lifelines for our clients. It provides guidance, instills confidence, and it's a community that says, we see you, you are meant to be here, and we will help you thrive. So as we gather, I want to take a moment to reflect on the extraordinary impact this organization has had. From helping thousands of immigrants access healthcare, benefits, workforce training, to feeding families through culturally appropriate pantries, SACSS has been a lifeline for many. We have created spaces where seniors find community, where new immigrants find their voices, and where people who often go unheard are empowered to thrive. And we've done it all by meeting people where they are with compassion, cultural understanding, and a steadfast belief in dignity for all. And we're South Asian, so of course we have numbers to back this up. In 2024 alone, we served over 300,000 individuals. We distributed 5 million pounds of culturally appropriate groceries, and we helped over 78,000 individuals access healthcare and other critical services. This is our legacy, and tonight is a celebration of that legacy and the community that continues to make this possible. And tonight we honor the people, the vision, the hearts that have made SACSS what it is today. We are the largest provider of free end-to-end social services in Metro New York in collaboration with other community-based organizations to whom we send clients. To all the CBOs in the audience, thank you. And once again, I'm so proud of the work we do, and even more grateful that you're all here to celebrate this milestone year with us. The next 25 years begins now. So before I sign off, I just want to acknowledge our board of directors. If you could all just stand up as I call your name. Our board of directors is amazing. They hail from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, a very, very diverse diaspora, as diverse as the community we serve. So please stand up. Binod De Silva, Mysore Gandhi, Saeed Hassan, Malavika Khular, Mumtaz Mustafa, Mizanur Rahman, Sucheta Ponda, Anupa Shrestha, and Vasudha Vishwanath. Thank you for all you do, and thank you for being here tonight.
Whenever you think of South Asians, the usual model minority myth. So we said, okay, we'll start this organization, not just for Indians, for the larger community. So South Asian Council for Social Services was born. We then started a needs assessment survey. That was August 3rd, 2001. And you know what happened a month later. And the whole world changed. We did have to jump into 9/11 services, serving the people who had lost people and people who had lost jobs, people who were being persecuted at that time, if you remember. But we did release the survey report. What came out of it was some of the very critical needs of the community. Knowing English, the skills, access to healthcare, food security, those were the things which came out. And we started in a small way, then as time went on, we could expand.
Access to quality healthcare. It's a basic human right. From babies who are just born, from like people who are trying to get into hospice care, end of life.
છેલ્લા 15 વર્ષથી હું અહીં ગાડી સતત આવું છું. અહીં ગાડી પેઇન્ટિંગ, ક્લાસીસ, એક્સરસાઇઝ.
The food pantry is something that we are very proud of. If you give people food that they cannot eat, there's no point, right?
It's been a space where all these women come, learn tailoring, and end of the program, not only do they have a skill set, they are given a sewing machine.
એકચ્યુઅલી હું એકલી જ હતી. મારું ડિપ્રેશન, મારું તબિયત એકદમ ફ્રેશ થઈ જાઉં છું અહીંયા આવું છું ને ત્યારે 4 કલાક દુનિયા ભૂલી જાઉં છું.
They don't exist in a vacuum. And the model that we have is you come here, you have connection to food, you need someone that speaks your language, you need to talk to someone about lack of sleep, about isolation, about anxiety. You don't have health insurance, someone will connect you to health insurance. It all has to come together.
Then came SACSS's next big challenge, COVID-19.
We were able to provide services to clients remotely, talk to them over the phone, and then get their issues resolved. But what about food? Then Sudha, Mary, and myself, we had a meeting, and literally, like, we all cried over that.
Nobody wanted to go out and do this work. You can't let people go hungry. You have to do something.
We decided we're going to open our food pantry, and it was scary. We packed the bags in the car and we would just like go around and deliver the bags.
Thank you very much, Mary. You came all over from office to here to help us.
I'm so proud of the work that SACSS has been doing for so many in our community. Especially during the pandemic, we saw how their services were literally life-saving for so many New Yorkers.
Last year, we distributed over 5 million pounds of food.
300,000 people were served, which is incredible. And as we go on for the next 5 years, and I'm sure it's going to be more than 1 million clients that SACSS is going to be serving, and which means it has to be sustainable.
Our community is growing with us and their needs are going to change, right? We need a bigger space because we're increasingly getting more clients. इंसान होने के नाते एक कर्ज है आपके ऊपर कि आप दुनिया को थोड़ा सा और बेहतर बनाएं.
When they know that they have a place where they can go, where they can talk to people who speak in their language, where they can find help, transforms their lives.
The world keeps changing, but our mission remains. As long as our communities need support, SACSS must be here. So here is to the next 25 years. Stand with us as we chart the future.
Now, I want to introduce someone without whom none of this would be possible. Sudha Acharya, the founder and the executive director of the South Asian Council for Social Services. She's coming out, but I have more to say, sorry. 25 years ago, Sudha recognized a deep need in our community. Families struggling to navigate complex systems, immigrants isolated from services, seniors without support. Rather than accept the status quo, she took action. With extraordinary vision, determination, and compassion, she founded SACSS to be a place of trust, dignity, and care for South Asians in New York. Her leadership has guided SACSS from its earliest days to the multifaceted organization it is today, one that provides healthcare access, food security, senior support, and so much more to the underserved South Asian community. Sudha's impact goes far beyond programs and services. She has shaped a culture of service, advocacy, and inclusion that continues to define SACSS at its core, empowering communities and transforming lives. Let's all give a warm welcome to Sudha Acharya, a force to be reckoned with.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Don't make me cry. Yeah. Thank you, Devi, for those very kind words. It's been great working with you all these days, right? All these years. Wow, what a group. It's so exciting. Good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to see you all here this evening. It's through your support and encouragement that we have reached this milestone. So many people, so many government and elected officials, so many foundations have contributed to bring us to this point. Our families were a great support. My daughter, my son-in-law, my sister-in-law who's here from Houston, just for this, they've all been there for SACSS. My two granddaughters, who were little at the time, learned quickly how to push raffle tickets on guests very early in our galas, but believe me, those galas didn't look anything like this. It's hard to believe that it's 25 years. When you think about that, it automatically brings you to the time
those days when we started thinking about services for our underserved. Back in 2000, we started SACSS with little more than purpose and passion. What moved us then was the deep injustice, a gap between how South Asians were perceived and the lived reality of so many in our community. The stereotype of the model minority erased the struggles of working class South Asians who are living in the shadows with no one to turn to because everyone assumed that we were doing just fine. Our first aim was to find out what our communities needed straight from them. So we started with a needs assessment. A month after we launched the survey, 9/11 struck our city. It was devastating. New York became a different world. Many South Asians and Indo-Caribbeans had lost their lives in World Trade Center. Their families were in shock and anguish. Our fledgling organization had to respond to their needs. We could say this defined our organization, responding to the critical needs of the community in real time. Since then, we've been determined to address the basic critical needs of the communities we serve. And if they change, we will pivot and address the new needs. When we saw how many lacked healthcare access, we built the Access to Healthcare program. When we heard the silence around mental health, we created family support programs. When a cancer patient came to us, she was in need of culturally appropriate food, and we started the first culturally responsive food pantry in New York. Once people regained their health and stability, we helped them build their future with workforce development services, with English and computer classes, and with training in tailoring. Last year alone, as you heard before, we served more than 3,000 people, 3,000 individuals, and you can meet 25 of them in the booklet inside your SACSS bag. By the way, that SACSS bag has the painting done by our seniors on one side. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So we're very proud of them. But what I'm most proud of is in numbers. It's the joy. Every day, our office is full of laughter, even as we face crisis after crisis. Our senior center is full of smiling seniors as they dance the Zumba and the Bollywood dancing however they can. Our team shows up with compassion, patience, and grace. This community, our community, is something I'm deeply proud of. Within our 25% team, we speak 20 languages. SACSS may have started by serving South Asians, but today, anyone who walks through our doors is welcomed without question. To help serve these communities, we not only speak 12 South Asian languages, but also Spanish, Mandarin, Cantonese, Hakka, Tagalog, and so on. Thank you. Our staff is as diverse as the communities we serve. But tonight, it's not just about celebration. It's about commitment. We cannot let this progress unravel. We can't only look at tomorrow. We must plan for the next 25 years. That means building a reserve fund, and it means long-term sustainability. We created support packages designed specifically to help our most at-risk clients. And from the bottom of my heart, I ask you to support them. And beyond this, some exciting news is that we are planning to expand within Flushing, also beyond New York, in New Jersey and Connecticut. And of course, this cannot happen without your support. Come on, New Jersey, where are you? Wave your hand. Yeah, okay. There's already a group which is, which is committed to doing that, who will help us start the branch. Over these 25 years, we've been carried forward by the compassion of people like you and those in this room and many who could not be here tonight. To our generous sponsors, past and current board members, and our incredible host committee, thank you so much. Host committee, could you please wave? All of you. Some are here. To the celebrities here tonight, thank you for lending just not your presence, but your voice, right, to this cause. And to our board of directors and our extraordinary staff, led by Rehan Mahmood, Mary Ashna Fernandez, and Anjali Manyam, thank you. Thank you for showing up day after day with heart. SACSS staff, please stand up. I know they're in various places. Come on, come on. Thank you, guys. What would we do without you? I salute the community-based organizations who are here today. We truly enjoy working with you, all of you, and are proud of what we achieve together for our communities. Thank you for your support. We have a beautiful evening planned ahead. I hope you enjoy every minute of it. But as we mark this milestone, let us also commit ourselves to service, to community, and to the vision of a more just and compassionate future. Here is to the past 25 years and to the next. Thank you.
Thank you, Sudha, so much. We all would not be here if it weren't for her. So can we give her another round of applause? My name is Jennifer Chaudhary, and I have been working with SACSS to help put together this wonderful gala, helping with the communications. And it is my honor tonight to introduce the keynote speaker, a fellow Queens kid, and a fellow Bangladeshi American, because there's a lot of us out there, and a dear, dear childhood friend, Momita Rahman. She has dedicated her life to helping immigrants. She is a fearless immigration attorney, and please find her on social media on TikTok because she's a little bit of a star, upwards of like 100,000 followers. I think it might be more. So she puts all of her heart and soul in all her cases, and just on a personal note, like I've grown up with her, and just to see her where she is, from two Queens kids talking on the stoop to today, I'm just so, so proud of her, and I know you will all be so inspired by her journey. Momita, come on stage.
Hello, everybody. I have a question for you all. Did anyone else's mother fix their balu in the cocktail hour? Okay, yes. So I'm not the only one. So hello to my mom who's in the audience today. Well, everybody, when I received the invitation to speak here tonight, I thought that surely this is a mistake. Why would they pick me out of all the people that are here on this list? And I'm looking at some of you very famous people right now that I'm so stunned to be in front of. But when I asked, they said, it's not an accident. We want you here to share your story. So here I am. I am an immigrant from Bangladesh, and I moved to the United States, to New York City in 1987 when I was 5 years old. When I first arrived in the US, I remember stepping off the plane into the terminal, and I saw a man standing in the middle of the airport. He was actually on his knees, and his arms were outstretched, and he had tears in his eyes. My mother whispered to me, That's your father. Go give him a hug. This story is not unlike millions of immigrants' stories here in the US. My father had arrived in the United States years before my mother and my brother and I could join him, being here so long that I forgot who he was. After we arrived, my story growing up here as an immigrant in the United States in New York City was not unlike that of others. My father worked long hours in a restaurant, and I would only see him on Mondays, his day off. My father would pick us up from school and take us to the deli on the corner and buy us a fruit punch that I would beg him for. My mother, who was an accomplished writer back home in Bangladesh, I remember her first job here, which was at a Hallmark card shop. I remember because she would take me there and I would eat the chocolates. And although my childhood was filled with love, it was undoubtedly filled with the struggles that are so normal to all of us, the financial struggles, the economic struggles, the cultural struggles that bind all of us together. So let's talk about immigrant parents. They are truly the unsung heroes of all of our lives. They wander, they search, they struggle, and they strive, all so that they can give their children a future that they could never have for themselves. My father liked to say to me, "Mo, when I am gone, you will understand." And I know lots of you probably say that to your kids too, but I have to say right now that I do understand. I do understand how my father's love of adventure, curiosity for the world, curiosity for all the people that he worked with in the restaurant industry fueled my love of cultures and immigration and human rights. I understand now what a trailblazer my own mother, Lizzie Rahman, has been. She had a job working at the US Embassy when I was little in Dhaka, and I remember her coming to visit me at recess, bringing me corn on the cob. She would take me to driving lessons with her in Dhaka, and if you're from the 1980s in Bangladesh, it was a pretty rare sight to see a young woman with a 4-year-old child in the passenger seat of a Volkswagen Beetle driving the streets. And we did not wear seatbelts that I can remember. Like most immigrant moms and like most immigrants, she carried a triple burden: the burden of leaving a home behind, the burden of being in a new land, and the burden of trying to find an identity for herself. She taught me the importance of perseverance. She taught me to never give up. She never stopped dreaming. She became a writer, a teacher, an educator, and an activist. If you have ever ridden a bike on the streets of New York, please thank my mother who fought for a bike lane on Queens Boulevard after our brother's death. So today, I stand in front of you as a child of immigrants, as a daughter of Queens, and as an immigration lawyer who has stood beside countless individuals who have suffered persecution, trauma, and injustice throughout the world. My clients have told me so many times that they have felt unseen and invisible in this society that they worked so hard to build. They are looking for a glimmer of hope so that they can survive. I am blessed and fortunate to have been able to help thousands of individuals throughout this country through my work. And today, I own one of the fastest growing immigration law firms in the United States, ranked the 418th fastest growing company in the US by Inc. 5000 last year, employing more than 125 caring and compassionate individuals who believe that immigrants' lives matters And these numbers, I'm not just saying them to say them, these numbers mean something. They mean that we can help so many more individuals. And I have an inherent belief that there is no such thing as a lesser person, and every person deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. And this is why I am so proud to support SACSS. For the past 25 years, they have been here to help those who need help, to lift others up, and to empower the immigrant community. We are oftentimes ignored, mistreated, and invisible in this country. They have served so many people throughout these years, and I won't repeat the numbers because you've heard them, but when I learned that they had served just 300,000 people alone last year, I was stunned. I was shocked. I had never heard of so much help being given out. And without their thoughtful and tailored approach, so many persons who are alone in this country for the first time would struggle even more. I think of my mother and my father, who is now passed, who would have benefited so much from the services that this organization provides had it existed at the time that they came to this country. SACSS is committed to justice. SACSS is committed to providing those opportunities so that those in our own community who we ourselves tend to overlook can lift themselves up. I know that in front of you today, you see the QR codes, you see the envelopes. Your support to SACSS matters. When you are helping SACSS with your financial contribution, you are fueling a movement. You're fueling a movement that is meant to empower those of us here and those in the community that want to strive for themselves. One of my main motivations through my law firm and through my work is this vision that I have of creating a riptide of change throughout this country. For when you help one person, you don't impact just them. You impact their mother, their father, their brother, their sister, their neighbors, and all the kids that are involved. And SACSS strives to help create riptides of change the same way. Their help helps families grow and find stability and find support. When you help SACSS, you're rewriting stories. You're replacing fear with opportunity and survival with thriving. This is real lasting change that we should all be proud of because we are not in this alone. This is a global community. When one person suffers, we all cannot move forward. So, thank you so much for your help. Thank you so much for your supporting this mission. And thank you for being here tonight.
Listen, I said I wasn't going to cry tonight, but this is not off to a good start. Also, can someone's mom help me with my palu? I'll borrow a mom tonight. Thank you so much, though, for that really, really inspirational, beautiful story. Our next guest tonight honestly needs no introduction. I know every single person in this room knows who he is, but I will do this to embarrass him anyway. You know him from The Daily Show. You might also know him from the hit TV show Evil on Paramount+. All right, we got some fans, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a Paramount employee. It's like actually a really good show. He is an award-winning actor, writer, and producer, someone who makes us laugh, makes us think, and tonight is here to help all of us celebrate this incredible occasion. Please put your hands together for the brilliant, the hilarious Asif Manvi.
Thank you. Really, that's the only picture you could find? That was the only one? It's fine, it's fine, it's great. It was a Thursday. Hi everyone, I am thrilled to be here tonight to introduce someone who means a lot to me personally and to so many of us, the legendary Madhur Jaffrey. I first got to know Mother in 1998 when we worked together on a film called ABCD. And then a decade later, she played my mom in a film that I wrote and starred in called Today's Special. I remember my late mother could not have been more excited to have the great Madhur Jaffrey play her in a movie. In fact, my mom actually donated all her dupattas to the movie so that Madhur would wear them in the film. But the reason my mother was so excited was not just because she had seen Madhur over the years in films like Shakespeare Wala, Heat and Dust, and Cotton Mary, but also because in our little town where I grew up in the north of England, my parents had been gifting their English friends Madhur Jaffrey's an invitation to Indian cooking as a Christmas present throughout the entire 1970s. Indian aunties don't take well to being given an Indian cookbook, but they don't. But for white people, it's very exotic. I like to think that Madhur had more than a little to do with the fact that chicken tikka masala eventually beat fish and chips as England's national dish. Although I also learned from Mother that chicken tikka masala is not a native Indian dish. It was actually created in England. That's colonialism for you. And the chili pepper actually came to India from the Americas. True story. Google it. You can look it up. Or just call Mother. She'll tell you. I was personally excited to work with Mother because as a young South Asian actor coming to New York in the early 1990s, she was to me more than an actress or a chef or an author. She was a pioneer. She was an inspiration. She told me once that the reason she started writing cookbooks was because there were no acting roles for her when she first came to America. And I think many of us might have tried that and not ended up with 9 James Beard Awards. I personally got to experience her rock star food cred firsthand when we went on a promotional tour for Today's Special, and Mother and I went to Portland, to the Portland Food Festival, where she was oh, really? Okay, all right. Portland in the house. She was the toast of the town, and during the Q&A, a food critic asked her how much input she had had in the food that was featured in the film, and she quickly responded, "Not enough. There is a bowl of bright red spice at the end of the film. I have no idea what that spice is. It doesn't exist. It's not food, and I had nothing to do with it." The reporter looked at me for a response, and all I could say was, I have to confess, half of this movie was written by a white guy. Mother introduced the world to Indian food and culture at a time when no one else was doing it. Her food and her stories have connected generations. She's helped so many of us feel proud of who we are, where we come from, and the flavors we bring to the table. That's why honoring her at this SACSS Gala feels so perfect. SACSS is about helping immigrant communities feel seen, supported, and empowered. And Mother has been doing exactly that through her work for decades. Through her stories, her recipes, and her presence in film and television, she's helped generations of immigrants hold on to culture while making space for themselves in a new country. She's shown us that identity isn't something to be hidden, it's something to be celebrated. Also, I cannot ignore that we are also honoring Mother at a specific moment in this country's history and in the world. Our current government has embarked on a cruel and violent demonization of immigrants writ large and has empowered the idea that there is a cramped and limited definition of who is truly American. So while Mother has educated the glories of Indian art and Indian food and Indian culture, her story is as American as any as I've ever heard. Indeed, she embodies everything this country claims that it stands for and she has made America greater than it ever would have been without her. So please join me this evening in celebrating Madhur Jaffrey, this year's SACSS Lifetime Achievement honoree.
Are you a baby? Are you a baby there? So young. I feel like Asif got to do the fun part and tell you all about how amazing Madhur is, and now I have to be the bearer of bad news and tell you that sadly she could not join us for this award tonight. I know, I'm sorry. But here to accept this award, I want to welcome Arun Shivdasani to the stage now.
Hi, I'm just here to accept an award for my friend, my incredible, amazing friend, Madhur. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here because she's a little under the weather, but she is so thankful to Sudha and SACSS for all the wonderful work you do. So thank you on behalf of Madhur.
I have to now give you the award.
Yes, you do.
So now, Arun, don't lose it, okay?
I'll
Make
try,
sure you.
I'll try.
Okay. All right.
You have to look there. Look there.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, everyone that's gathered here. I just want to say this. I am not the one that deserves a Lifetime Achievement Award. Not at all. If I could take the Lifetime Achievement in my hands, I would shower it on all the people that works for SACSS, the South Asian Council on Social Services. They are doing the hard work. They are doing the emotional work. They are doing everything to make the life of immigrants and people who need food the best life that they can have. And the way they do it is something so unique and special. Now, the New York Times is saying recently that 1 in 4 New Yorkers don't have enough food. It's one thing to just give them food, any food, give them a pizza, give them, it doesn't matter who they are, just give them anything. You can do that. But what SACSS does is give something very special to each immigrant that makes them feel emotionally secure. And that's wonderful. For example, if there's an Indian immigrant, they will get dal and chawal in their set of food. Now, can you imagine how important that is? Because dal and chawal, rice and dal, it's like mother, father, grandfather, grandmother, family, ancestry, home, everything all rolled into one. Can you imagine getting that? That kind of security, that kind of emotional security, which is so important to us. And a Mexican might get this with his rice and his different pinto beans or black beans or whatever. It's this great feeling of comfort that you get, of feeling at home. Helping people gives them a solid dose of emotional security. as well as filling their stomachs. Now, this is important. It's as if you took, on a cold wintry day, you took a soft comforter and put it around the shoulders of a human being. How nice they would feel, how comforted and secure they would feel. And that's what happens to people when SACSS looks after them. Now, I am almost 92 years old now. And I have smartphones, I have computers. I look so efficient. I'm not at all. I haven't felt secure with technology since the day I got it. So what happens in my home is when a grandkid or a kid is coming around, I said, "Beta, would you please help me?" And they're gone. Then another kid comes around or a grandkid. And again, I say, "Beta, could you?" And they're gone. So I'm always feeling this kind of discomfort that I'm not on top of what I'm doing. I need help. Now, again, this is something that SACSS does. They help people with technology. Now, how wonderful is that? Isn't that absolutely marvelous? And there's another thing I want to talk about, and that is my friend, Asif Mandvi. Now, Asif and I have known each other for a while. He used to know my daughter when she was much younger. They used to know each other. Then I got to know Asif. I got to work with Asif. And how wonderful is that? I won't praise him to his face. Nah, won't do that. But I love Asif. And we were in a film together called, what was it called? It was called Today's Special. Yeah, I can't remember things half the time. Anyway, it's called Today's Special. And I have been the one that's always been cooking, but guess who was playing the chef? It was Asif. He's such a good actor. He completely carried it off and fooled everyone into thinking that he could cook and that he was a chef, and he was not only a chef, but he was a marvelous chef. So I take my hat off to Asif. Asif, you did it. That was very clever of you. Now don't try fooling me that you can cook, okay? All right, Asif. I would like now to just say that I hope all of you that are here will keep giving to SACSS, keep appreciating SACSS, because they are doing work that is nobody else is doing. It's a kind of work that not only feeds, but it also nourishes and emotionally helps the well-being of all the people that they cater to. And it's very important. So again, I say to SACSS and everybody who's here, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And as if Mother didn't embarrass you enough, Asif, I am told we have some kind of secret surprise for you. And it's such a secret, no one even told me about it. So let's all find out together. I want to bring in Sudha back on the stage to tell us what's going on.
This is awful.
It's a surprise. Don't go anywhere.
What?
Stay right there. Hi, I have another amazing friend who is a writer, an actor, and a comedian. You heard him all evening. He's kept you in splits. And in this current climate, in this country, we need humor. We need laughter. We need to smile. That special friend is Asif Mandvi. And Sudha and SACSS wish to give him a very special honor, an award. Yeah, Sudha?
Hi, Asif. You're making people laugh. You're bringing joy to people. And we are all about health. And we would love to give you this award with all our appreciation support. Humor for Health.
Thank you. I've taken up far too much of your time already, so I'm not going to make another long speech, but thank you to SACSS. Thank you for all the work that you do. This really is a surprise. I had no idea. They would just introduce Mother, who is an old friend. I love her so much. But this is really very special. Thank you. You guys, thank you. You guys, you made up a whole award just for me, which I think is really sweet. That's the sweetest part. They're like, well, he's not really, it's just the humor, yeah, the health. Yeah, it's good. Let's do that, yeah. I know, I think it's, thank you. I mean, I don't know what to say. I hate surprises, but this one is one of the best. So, thank you very much.
Hi, folks, it's me again. Tonight, I'm honored to recognize two extraordinary women whose steadfast support has meant so much to me personally and to this organization, Kalpana and Anita Bhatia. Yeah. For years, their foundation has been more than just supporters. They've been true partners in our mission, whether it's through their leadership, their generous philanthropy, or simply their presence at our events. Their commitment has been unwavering. Their belief in what we do has carried us through many chapters, and tonight we celebrate them with deep gratitude. When I spoke to Kalpana to invite her to the celebration, I assured her that the Pier Hotel would not sway on this East River, because the last time she was with us, it was on a SACSS Gala on a boat. And believe me, the East River acted like a choppy sea, and it was not a pleasant experience. Yeah. Anita, Kalpana, thank you for your enduring friendship and for being such a vital part of this journey. Thank you.
You want me to say something, or you want me to go first? You go.
I'd love to invite Mukund Padmanabhan of Guru Kripa Foundation, who is another philanthropist who has been with us all the time and who sort of actually funds us every year. And you know those grocery bags that we actually deliver to? And Mukund is the one who actually makes this happen. Okay, and I would really request Sandra Ang, our council member, to come to the stage. Thank you.
They were not prepared for this level of height. I'm half Punjabi, half Gujarati. Obviously, the Punjabi side won. Okay, my mom refuses to speak, so she's telling me she's going to whisper in my ear, and then we're gonna do it, right? You want to say something first, or you want me to go?
You go.
Okay.
I have not much to say.
Okay, I've been essentially emotional all day. I'm going to try and get through this. We have heard so many beautiful stories already. I will tell you a little bit about our family. In 1969, a stunningly beautiful young lady named Kalpana Bhatia, a track star that grew up in Mombasa, Kenya, arrived in New York City. She wanted to be a doctor. She loves science, but most of all, she loves helping people. Unfortunately, as many immigrants face, she was unable to go to medical school due to financial circumstances, and she instead got a job as a 10-key operator, and she created a new life here. That same year, a handsome, albeit very crazy, young man, a Punjabi man named Ramesh Bhatia, also arrived in New York City. He was a mechanical engineer and got a job in Long Island. On the weekends, he would race back to the city so he could spend time with his friends. It was one of those fateful nights in Manhattan that my dad crashed my mom's 21st birthday, and they fell in love. Our family of 3 moved to Dallas, Texas in the late 70s, and there my brother was born. We did not have a large house. We could not afford clothes or toys that were not on sale, and we rarely ate out. Yet somehow, anyone who came to our house would always leave with a little token of my mom. If an auntie commented on my mom's jewelry, by the end of the night, my mom had removed her necklace and lovingly packed it to give this auntie a piece of her. If someone liked her shawl, she would gracefully and methodically slide it off her shoulders, fold it in a perfect square, and with 2 hands, give a small piece of herself over with love. She didn't just give physical gifts. My mother has always stood up for those who may not have had the roar of a lioness as she does. She had a friend This friend was married to a very abusive man, a man who mentally and physically terrorized this friend of hers. Thank you. The entire South Asian Dallas community knew what was going on. No one said or did anything, except for my mom. I was little. I would hear her speaking on the phone, just her side of the conversation. And she would always tell her friend, "This is not okay. You don't have to stay. You should leave." And the friend would say, "I'm scared," or whatever. And my mom said, "I don't care, because no matter what happens, I will never, ever leave you." So she left. This friend left. And my mom kept her word. This auntie was no longer invited to parties anymore because she was divorced. It didn't matter that her husband was hitting her. It mattered that she was unmarried. And my mom refused to allow this to be okay. My dad and my mom took this auntie, this friend, to every single party and showed her so proudly as one of our own, as our family member. This is just one example of the kind of woman my mother is. She has been supporting gender-based violence organizations, social service organizations, medical research and education for longer than I even realized. She has done it so quietly, without recognition, because she knew it was the right thing for her. When we were told we were getting this honor, I texted one of my best friends and I said, "So many big people are being honored tonight." And she's like, you guys do so much work. I was like, yeah, but we're not Padma Lakshmi. And we're not. I mean, clearly, we're not. But I am just so proud to be her daughter. It is.
I'm proud of you too. You do a fantastic
She speaks! She speaks!
You did a fantastic job for handling my charity.
It is more than I deserve to be her daughter. And in every single lifetime that I ever get, I hope and pray that you'll be my mom.
Don't cry. She gets so emotional.
Now, she's an Indian mom, so now she's talking shit about me. It's fine. Oh, she cries all the time. Oh, she cut her hair. You know, my daughter, she had such long hair. Now she has short hair. Look at her. That's the stuff we don't talk about. But to talk about food, for example, which we all love and is so vital to our culture, I'll give an example, and this is in no disrespect to the Pierre, but we ordered room service last night, and the yellow doll came, and, you know, she's turning it over and over and over, looking at it. But is this tuer ni dal or mug ni dal? I don't know, Mom. Let's just eat it. But I need to know how they made it. Do you think this is basmati rice? So now, at 2 in the morning, she says, no, it is basmati rice, by the way. And the Pierre, yes, it is. Mom, I looked it up. I literally looked it up on the room service menu, and it says very clearly it's basmati rice.
I'm surprised.
She's surprised. This has gone, we are now devolving into a full comedy routine.
And they burnt everything.
Okay, Mom. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up. I am so beyond grateful to SACSS for honoring my mom and for allowing me the honor of standing beside her. I always say that my mom should be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for having taken care of my dad for as long as she has. He is crazy. All the Punjabis in here know, like, y'all are crazy. This nice Gujarati mom has, like, had to take care of my dad. It's a wild ride. But honestly, yeah, it's crazy. But we have to go back tomorrow to make sure he has his food, you know? But really being recognized by a South Asian nonprofit organization like SACSS, who is doing just the most extraordinary work, we could not be more proud and grateful for this award. I'm gonna make my mom, at the very least, say thank you, because you can do that, we talked about it. What I will say is, please follow in my parents' footsteps. Please give generously. We can't have a scarcity mindset anymore. We have to have an abundance mindset. And if we lift one another, we all rise. So please give my mother, who is very nervous, a big round of applause.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I would like to thank you all for the honor you have given me and my charity. I always believed to give and help. So my husband created this charity for me. That was my dream. And we have helped so many organizations in Texas and LA, where she lives.
And New York.
And New York,
and
yes.
India.
A lot of places. So only thing I would request everybody is to give whatever you can to make the world a better place. Thank you so much.
There's a photo. Can we give these guys another round of applause? Like, I was crying, I was laughing. Congratulations on all of the amazing work you guys are doing, mother-daughter team. I think they should take the show on the road. It was so good. All right, up next, folks, we have a really special moment in our program. It is my absolute honor to introduce our next distinguished nominee, someone who is a visionary, a leader, a philanthropist, and on top of all of that, also a Grammy-nominated artist and a tireless advocate for education and empowerment. You know her, Chandrika Tandon. And joining me on stage to help present the award, please welcome Neha Shah and Councilmember Shekhar Krishnan.
Good evening, everyone. Salam alaikum, namaste. I am Councilmember Shekhar Krishnan. I am proud to represent Jackson Heights, Queens. Is Queens in the house? That's right. We can't let Jersey put us to shame here. But I am proud to stand here as the first Indian American ever elected to New York City government. And I am here with my two sisters, Councilmember Linda Lee and Councilmember Sandra Ung. And as Asian Americans in historic class of Asian American elected to the New York City Council, before I introduce our next honoree, I want to take a minute to explain how important SACSS is and why it's so important to support this organization. I can give you data, statistics, and numbers about the work that they do. But let me tell you what is so much more important to myself, to my council member colleagues. Far away from these dignified halls here from Midtown Manhattan, SACSS is doing the work every single day in communities like my own in Jackson Heights. When a South Asian senior comes to my doors in my office and can't pay their rent and is afraid of being evicted the next day by their landlord, it's SACSS that I can turn to help them in that situation. When a family shows up to my office and they are hungry and don't have food, it is SACSS who I can turn to not only give them food, but to make sure they can apply for food stamps. That's right, we can give it up for SACSS. And when a South Asian senior comes into my office, lonely, sad, and unsure where to go, to have a community where people speak her language, know her stories, that call here home even when home is 10,000 miles away, it is SACSS I can turn to make sure she has a home and a community. And I will tell you, as a council member now, but as a civil rights lawyer for tenants for many years before that, I know the real ones, the real organizations doing this work, who are there to make sure that each of our constituents, our clients, our neighbors can simply make it by. There are so many in this city who are struggling every single day. And it's an organization like SACSS that is there for them, in many ways uniquely so among organizations in our community. SACSS is there to make sure they can make it by, to pay their rent, to pay for childcare, to afford their groceries. And that is exactly why, with all the competing demands that everyone in this room has for organizations across this city, that is why I think that SACSS is worth supporting. That is why I support them, and that is why I think each and every one of you in this room should give and support them today and every day. So thank you, Sudha and the team, and congrats to everyone at SACSS on 25 years. They are at this point because we are honoring individuals tonight who know what it means to open up their hearts and their support for an organization like SACSS, serving communities like mine in Queens. It's my honor tonight to be here and celebrate a good friend of mine, Chandrika Tandon. That's right, let's give her a big round of applause. Chandrika is a globally recognized business leader, Grammy Award-winning artist, and humanitarian. But far more importantly, she is such a kind, giving soul who was there for organizations for our community every single day. Chandrika is dedicated to elevating happiness through music and education and balancing emotional and economic well-being in all of her work. Focused on uplifting STEM in higher education and expanding access to education. And this is something that she and I have talked about many times through the partnership with Chandrika and government. Chandrika personally funds scholarships and institutions that support the next generation of changemakers. Passionate about science and education, she chairs the board of the NYU Tandon School of Engineering. That's right. Chandrika was also the first Indian woman to be hired by McKinsey & Company and paved her own way in a male-dominated field. She became one of the earliest and youngest partners of McKinsey & Company and later founded her own advisory firm, Tandon Capital Associates. When she is not busy championing higher education or science, Chandrika is transforming the music industry. Ms. Tandon has recorded 6 albums under her label, Soul Chants Music. Her music draws an ancient spiritual Vedic chants that have sound healing impact and melds it with Indian classical music, and I encourage you all to hear her music. Her first album, Soul Call, received a Grammy nomination for Best Contemporary World Music Album, while her 6th and latest release, Triveni, won a Grammy for Best New Age Ambient or Chant Album, and you can applaud that too. Chandrika is unwavering in her commitment to giving back to our communities. Through a partnership with SACSS, for example, she's held music lessons for seniors that go beyond teaching. They're deeply enriching experiences that uplift spirits and build community, especially for our seniors that need that community in our communities. By exploring the meaning behind each song, Chandrika creates moments of healing and togetherness that align with SACSS' important mission. Born in Madras, India, Chandrika has used her immigrant story, platform, and resources to support organizations like SACSS that help immigrant communities live with dignity. We are thrilled to present Ms. Chandrika Tandon tonight with the Award for Music and Healing, celebrating her extraordinary contributions to art, education, and humanity. Please join me in welcoming and honoring Chandrika Tandon.
What a lovely, long introduction. I was sitting there and saying, wow, he's going on and on. That's amazing. Thank you. He's going to go out and rule the whole world, this guy, I can tell. Like many people here, when the clatter stops, shh. Like many people here, I definitely have the imposter syndrome. I don't even know. I don't think I should be honored, or honestly, we've got Sudha and the whole amazing team and all the amazing people before me, and I'm sitting there and saying, goodness gracious, what am I doing up here? Of course I'm doing some stuff, but this is really wonderful to sit here and watch what Sudha has been able to do, and God bless you, Sudha. You're a true inspiration to all of us. And I want to give a special shout out to Anjali, who has brought, with great grace and love, has drawn every one of us into SACSS. To be honest with you, until a year and something ago, I didn't know anything about SACSS. I just got to know and Anjali was relentless in saying, you need to come. And the next thing I knew, I was at SACSS event. So the award is for music and healing. I mean, I guess if we quiet ourselves down, we can actually imagine the rhythm of the clatter of these plates. And if we clap our hands, there probably is a very interesting rhythm that's being created or could be created, but we won't go there right now. We're talking about music and healing, which is what the award is. And I thought I should just spend a couple of minutes, and we've had a lot of speeches, and so I'm going to keep it very short. I've been in the business world for a very long time. And about 25 years ago, when I was little, when I'd hear an air conditioner, I would start to sing. I would set the sur to the air conditioner. So I'm listening to all of this now, and my ear is naturally drawn to what sounds they are making. I've got to tell you, so I'm highly distracted talking to all of you. But that having been said, so 25 years ago, I had a crisis of spirit, because I really had to look at what was happiness. What was this I was put on the earth for? These important questions about what is my purpose on the planet. And what I came to was that I really wanted to include music as part of whatever it is I did. I sang before I could speak, and so music was always something that was who I was. It just was, everything about me was just so happy when I was in music, whatever it is. I don't remember what chores I was doing when I was a very little girl, and I had a lot of chores, but I remember what song I was singing then. So I'm so grateful to music, not because of the joy it gave me, and it's given me enormous joy, because I didn't go back into music because I wanted to win a Grammy or I wanted to perform or any of that. I wanted to just sing for myself. But what music made me do is understand silence. Because in Indian music, when you want to be at the highest levels, which I was operating in, you cannot find your sur, you cannot find that special place of the note unless your mind is silent. And the more my mind got silent through meditation, which is what the singing was for me, I discovered service. And that, because when you go deep into your mind and when you go deep into meditation, you realize we are one. You cannot be happy unless the world is happy. And I committed myself to, 25 years ago, to really dedicating my life to service, whether it's a random act of kindness that I can do, which no one knows about. This has got nothing to do with anyone. This has got to do with myself and my purpose in this world, or something bigger, which fortunately, I had the privilege to give, that I would get engaged in this. And that's been my journey. So a lot of what you see are details in that journey. I mean, yes, there's some big events and some smaller events. But this is not about what I have done. I know it has healed me. And I know the most joyous moments of my life were when I have shared the music with a lot of people. I ran a community choir. I think one of my members from the community choir in Queens is here. I ran it for about 4 years in the Queen's Temple from 8 to 10 every Sunday morning. And we would have all the seniors together. And I would get letters from people about how depression went away or how happy people were to be there. So I think music has got a bigger purpose and a bigger gift that is available. I think that's why we won the Grammy. Trivedi was an album about healing. So I want to thank you all for this. And as I said in the Grammys, music is love. And music ignites the light in all of us. And music creates joy and laughter. And so I sign every email I've written in the last 15 or 18 years, love, light, laughter, whether it's a business email or a personal email. I just say love, light, laughter, because it reminds me of that's the space I want to be in. And music really helps all of us be there. So may we all be surrounded and enveloped in love, light, and laughter. And gratitude and congratulations again to Sudha and the whole team for this extraordinary work you're doing. I think it's a little late. Okay. Sudha wants me to sing a song. But no, here's the deal. Shh, you haven't heard the whole thing yet. Well, I'll sing 4 lines, but here's the deal. You're going to have to sing, we're going to call and response. Deal? Everybody ready to sing? No one's going to get out of it. Do we have a moral contract here? Okay, so, all right. While we are on the subject of SACSS and Sudha, let me, in the Vedic tradition, when we honor the goddess, we talk of at least 19 qualities of the goddess, and in fact, everything from being angry to being compassionate. So I'll pick 2 and I would like to dedicate this song to Sudha and to all the goddesses, this amazing group of women here, and the men too. You've got some goddess sides to you. I give you that, and it shows up quite a lot of times, it seems. Some of you sometimes. But I honor that in all of you. So I don't have any of my things. We're going to wing it. But let's not look for musical quality, but we're really all going to sing together. Deal? So we're going to say, it says, the words are, Ya Devi, you're everywhere. Goddess, you are everywhere. And I'm only going to take 2 of the attributes. You're in the form of Lakshmi, of that basically spreading wealth in all forms to everyone. I bow to you again and again. And the second part, we'll just say, you're in the form of compassion, and we bow to you again and again. Okay? Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu. Again. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu, Lakshmi Rupena Sanstita, Lakshmi Rupena Sanstita. Namastasyai, 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 Namo Namaha, Namastasyai, Namo Namaha. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu. Again. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu, Daya Rupena Sanstita, Daya Rupena Sanstita. Namastasyai, 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 Namo Namaha, Namastasyai, Namo Namaha, Namastasyai, Namo Namaha, Namastasyai, Namo Namaha.
I don't know if the acoustics in here are like up to snuff for a Grammy Award-winning singer, but of course Chandrika made it sound amazing in here. All right, next I want to invite Council Member Linda Lee to present the award for championing mental health to Dr. Bobby Nasser.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm very, very proud and honored to introduce our next honoree. Aside from being a council member, and a lot of you in this room know me for the nonprofits work that I did in the community for 20 years, and that's how I know Sudha. Because especially during the pandemic, we would call each other and say, oh my gosh, what the heck do we do about XYZ issues? And we were left to navigate the field on our own. And as a social worker myself, who's a very big champion of mental health issues, I ran a Korean nonprofit organization and started an outpatient mental health clinic for our community because we saw more and more issues in our community and had to ask ourselves, where can we send them? Where we have therapists, mental health professionals that speak the language, understand the culture. It took 4 years, and one thing I realized is that our healthcare system is broken, and the system was not meant for people like us. And so we have to make it for people like us. And our next honoree, and as chair especially of the Mental Health Committee on the City Council, I'm very, very proud to introduce our next honoree, Dr. Bobby Nasser, who is, I would say, out of all of her credentials, first and foremost, most importantly, she actually supervises all the mental health professionals at SACSS. And I cannot tell, yes, that deserves a round of applause. Aside from her many, many degrees, accomplishments, which she's told me to keep it short, I swear to God. It's not that I don't want to talk about all her accolades, but I think this is the most important, crucial piece of tonight, is that she really is educating, providing the supervision for all of the people who are on the front lines at SACSS, and providing these crucial services to the community. And to be honest, for that, we are so grateful and are so honored that you are here with us today. So I just want to thank you so much, Dr. Nasser, for being here with us.
Okay, so I want all my people to stand up. That means all my people that I supervise to stand up. Come on, Mary, come on, come on, come on. There they are. Okay, so, so I really, really love them. It's no understatement to say that SACSS provides lifelines to people. The people that I hear about on a regular basis in terms of all these beautiful frontline workers are on the brink. I think a lot of them wouldn't be here anymore if it wasn't for the work that SACSS provides. I don't think many people understand how many people are invisible and not receiving any recognition or any help. And the amount of prejudice that exists right now, and I know I'm not supposed to be political, but here I go. The current, I'm not going to be stopped. This is the most nightmarish environment I've ever seen for immigrants. It's a nightmare for all of us, but especially for immigrants. And I'm just disgusted and repulsed. And I need to say it out loud, even though a few people have told me to behave, like Mary. Okay, so I need to say that if it wasn't for SACSS, I think there'd literally be more dead people in Queens right now. The amount of deprivation that they're experiencing and the fear is horrifying. They're scared to leave their homes. A lot of them live in what they call mixed, meaning some of the members of the family have legal status and other people don't. So if one person gets caught, it could mean the whole family gets caught, and the whole family is in danger of being deported. And a lot of these families really do come from terrible situations. The other thing I just want to say about SACSS, and I need to talk about Suda now. Suda and I go back to early 90s, and Suda's been an amazing leader the whole time I've known her. I first met her through the UN, and she was the chair of a committee we call the NGO, Non-Governmental Organization Committee on Women. And she provided the most amazing leadership because she had this way of bringing everybody together, everybody being included. And there can be, as in any organization, a lot of competition for status, this kind of thing. She cut straight through it. And then she performed this miracle. She knows nothing about social services. So she, and I do, frankly. So she decides she's going to start a social service agency. She doesn't even know what social service is. She used to call me a mental person because I work with people in terms of counseling. So clueless to the max, but she dove in, and it's her leadership, her amazing leadership. And she figured out all these very complicated systems. And it's a startup. SACSS is a startup. I just want to be clear. There was nothing there, nothing. So from complete scratch, she figured out how do you put together an agency. And look at how successful it's been. And the people that the people that work at SACSS, they could not be as amazing and beautiful and wonderful as they are if it wasn't for Suda. Because Suda understands what it is to find people that really have compassion for others. And all the people I work with at SACSS are beautiful people. So anyway, I just wanted to in every way express my appreciation for the flexibility and the way that SACSS keeps reinventing themselves. I also want to thank these wonderful council people here today. I mean, amazing. I didn't know you existed. You're wonderful. So anyway, I just want to thank everybody here because this is an inspirational night for me. So thank you.
Hi, so I'm the one you've been probably seeing frantically running around. As you can imagine, it is definitely not easy planning a gala with a bunch of aunties that you tell them 2 minutes and then they go 4, 5, 6, 7. But I appreciate and love you all, so I appreciate it. First of all, I want to give a round of applause for all our honorees so far. And I want to let you know that dinner will be coming soon. I am really sorry, we're just a little behind, but you know, they see time. So for those of you that don't know me, which I imagine most of you don't, my name is Deepthi Sharma. I'm a serial entrepreneur, a community builder, and a proud daughter of Queens. I first learned about SACSS when I was running for office and working to help feed New Yorkers that were going food insecure during the pandemic. We fed over 500,000 people through our own efforts and by partnering with World Central Kitchen. What I quickly realized was that deep, long-standing impact of organizations like SACSS, who've been doing this work for decades with care, compassion, and cultural understanding. And I know you've been hearing this a lot, but cultural understanding is really essential in this space. Each person at SACSS has a powerful story, and so does tonight's honoree. I've been watching Padma Lakshmi since I was in high school, how she's used her platform to tell the stories, to advocate for immigrants, and preserve culture through food. Through her show, Taste the Nation, her work with the ACLU, and her fearless voice for our communities, Padma has shown us that representation is powerful when it's rooted in purpose. I want you to think about that. Representation is not enough. What you do with that is more powerful. And she has shown that you can walk into any room and be exactly who you need to be and should be unapologetically. And that's why we're so proud to honor her tonight with the Voices of Heritage Award, recognizing her storytelling and her unwavering commitment to uplifting immigrant voices. So now I can go on and on and on, and I know Padma would love for me to keep going on and on, but I'm gonna, wrap it up. She's telling me to wrap this shit up. Okay, anyways, I'm sorry. I'm from Queens, that's what we do. We curse. But so ladies and gentlemen, Padma Lakshmi.
Thank you, thanks everybody. I'm gonna keep it brief because I'm hungry. And I know you guys are hungry, and our very sweet wait staff and kitchen staff want to serve you this food hot. But I just wanted to say thank you, and for the brief time I'm going to be up here, I'd like to use it to really applaud SACSS for what they're doing. You know, I grew up in different immigrant communities, but I grew up in a working class immigrant community. My mother is retired, but she was for 50 years a nurse. And her superpower was how she was able to nurture and care for those around her, for those in her work and in her life and in her world. And, you know, in Sudha Auntie's face, I really see my own mother. And I applaud you and everybody who works at SACSS for what you are doing. It helps in so many ways more than just filling the belly, as someone said. I'm from Queens. I came to Queens in the 70s. I went to Resurrection Ascension. I went to a Catholic school, and I lived at 86-16 East Elmhurst Avenue. And you pass that shitty building every time you go to JFK. But I look at it, I look up, And I remember my neighbors, the whole building was desi. Like, it stank like jeera and curry in all the halls. And I think of all the old people I passed in the hallways in my neighborhood, and I'm so glad that SACSS exists. It's such a reflection of our culture, of how we value our elders, how family is important to us. And what I think is so beautiful about SACSS is how they've managed to extend the arms of what family means and is to all of us. And I love this organization so much, and I'm so honored to be here, but really I don't deserve the honor. You know, as Madhur so eloquently said, I am really happy to be here, happy to support, and very glad to get this recognition. I visit different communities with Taste the Nation just like ours, but it's always lovely to come home. And that's what I feel like in this room. So thank you so much. Thank you, Sudha. Thank you to the entire staff. And I'd like to recognize, of course, my very, very esteemed fellow nominees, all of them. So have a good time, eat, drink, and please remember to donate. Come on, you can, you know, just, like, whatever you can, $100. Come on, $100 now, you know? Whatever you can, $1, $10, $1,000, $10,000. Anyway, that is my spiel for you tonight. If you could, you know, please, if you could, in the name of someone you love and someone in your family or life who just needs a little more care, you know, all the elders are our elders, just like all the children are our children. So it's not good that some of us are okay and others aren't. And I think we've lost sight of that in this country right now. But, you know, immigrants like us and millions of others are what made this country, what will continue to make this country, and who are really defining what Americans are today. And I'm so honored to be in this company with all these wonderful people, and especially thank you, Sudha. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I really wish I didn't have to follow Padma Lakshmi. I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your voice and everything that you represent. I'm sure, like a lot of you, growing up, I remember looking at the television thinking, where are all the people that look like me? And Padma, for a long time, was one of the only ones. So such a trailblazer. And from one big change maker and trailblazer to another. We're about to bring you a really incredible conversation between two people who I very much admire and who are incredible forces in their respective fields. A visionary fashion designer whose creations you've seen on pretty much every red carpet ever, including, of course, the Met Gala from just a few weeks ago. His bold designs have redefined modern style while championing diversity and inclusion. And just last week, as many of you will know, he just released his deeply personal and powerful new memoir, offering a really close and intimate look at his journey through fashion, through identity, and through purpose. I'm such a fan and so excited to learn so much more about your story. And sitting down with him, we have a brilliant entrepreneur and a cultural powerhouse who has completely revolutionized how South Asian stories and narratives are told here in the US and around the world. She has given voice to many people who you will know, up-and-coming artists, musicians, actors, and in my opinion, a huge reason why South Asian talent is having this incredible global mainstream moment right now. So, please welcome to the stage Prabal Gurung and Anjala Acharya.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. I don't know how Prabal and I landed the worst lot when everyone gets to eat and we get to watch you. That chicken tikka is looking really good right now.
Is there chicken tikka there?
Is it chicken tikka? What is it? Chicken something. What is it? No. Chili roast chicken. That sounds good. That sounds good. Anyway, Prabal. This is the man of the moment, guys. Like, this guy, I mean, look at him. Look at him. He's definitely the man of the moment. Prabal, we're so excited about your new novel.
Thank you.
Your memoir. And I wanted to start by asking you about the title. Now, I know all the answers to all the questions I'm going to ask you because I've read the book. But I know you guys don't, so this is going to be new to you. But you guys are so lucky. You have the book in the bag that you have with you. And I just, yes, please give Prabal a round of applause. I would just like to say that I've been plowing through this book for the last 3 days, and it's such an easy read because it's such a great story, and it's amazing, and it moves really fast, and it's, honestly, it's like from heartbreak to hope. That's the way I would describe it. But the hope is so hopeful that I hope that it will just inspire you guys in the way that it's been inspiring me. But anyway, enough about what I think. Let's talk about what you think. So, Prabal, tell us about why you came up with this title.
Before I start, good evening, everyone. And it is really wonderful to see this room, look at the room, and it really reflects back to who you see yourself. You know, so it's really incredible to see our people celebrating each other. So, and thank you everyone for having us here. To answer your question, first of all, whenever I'm holding a mic, I feel like I'm going to start singing. You know, so, yeah.
Well, Chandrika can help.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so, all right, so on to your question. Walk like a girl is a term used pejoratively, often to diminish or demean someone and their existence oftentimes. It is, I decided that was a term that was thrown at me growing up because I was an extremely effeminate kid who didn't fit into the narrow, I would say, description of what a boy or what a man should look like. And I was free, but somehow in that freedom of me being myself, the society didn't understand. For me, walk like a girl was, when it was thrown at me, I just didn't understand it was an insult because I was surrounded by powerful women, whether it was my mother, whether it was my sister, even my superhero was Wonder Woman, you know, and Charlie's Angels. So I never saw anything wrong in being who I was and emulating the women and the feminine power and the matriarchal power that we grew up with. But when I went to school, I understood the intention behind it and the impact and mostly the hate towards it. And so over the period of time, I've taken that term and turned it around and used it as a term for empowerment, courage, grace, and defiance. So walk like a girl is to walk through the world with softness, defiance, courage, and vulnerability, and you know, and this unapologetic joy, and to say that, you know, I belong here, that I claim my space, I belong here. This is for me. This is for you, and you know, I wrote this book to celebrate femininity in all its form. Not to rise above, but to rise with. And I feel that's how I've lived my life, and hence this long-winded answer to your question. So, yeah.
I love it. So, thank you, guys. So, not that you were clapping for me, but, you know, I was thanking you on his behalf. Prabal, when...
No, don't. This is so typical of us, you know. You can't. I do want to take a moment.
But they weren't clapping for me.
No,
they were
no.
you, but I thanked them.
No, but the thing is, thank you very much.
I love you.
Thank you. I think it's very important to acknowledge, especially in our community, like, you know, our women and the work that you guys do, that you have been doing. And so for me, to be able to sit with a dear friend of mine who's been an inspiration from afar and so near, like, you know, the things that you've built in a predominantly patriarchal world. So let's give her a round of applause to Anjula, please. You know, she's been a force of nature. Yeah. So you deserve all the flowers as well. Yeah.
Well, you know, my next question to you was, when was that moment that you really fell in love with woman? And I'm not going to say women, I'm going to say woman. Because I feel like your life journey has been in honor of the woman. So when was that moment where you fell in love with woman?
I think my first love was with my mother. Like just watching her raise us single-handedly, unapologetically unbowed was my first lesson in resilience. Just watching her walk through the world with such power was lesson in elegance. Watching her, I understood that elegance is not a posture, it's a practice. And that love, and I would say in its full form and it's based on truth, is the most radical thing you can have. So I would say, no, it's okay. People, I think everyone's hungry. You should eat.
Everyone's
They're
hungry.
So we get it. We're just going to keep
We're
on chatting.
smelling it, and we wish we were eating.
Yeah. So I would say that my first love was that, and then my sister, then the films that I saw, the writers that I loved, whether it was Jane Austen or Louisa May Alcott, and I grew up reading those, and I loved. I've always believed in this matriarchal and feminine power simply because in this brute patriarchal world that has brought us to this mess right now, the only hope we have is matriarchy. That's how I've always believed that, so yeah. So
Preach, bravo.
No, it's really is that, because patriarchy is very self-centered, power at any cost. Matriarchy and feminine idea is more community-driven, collaborative. So I'm all for that.
I love this one quote in the book that your mum, who was an entrepreneur and a businesswoman, and I found this so inspiring. It was like, you basically have to have wood in many different fires. And this really spoke to me as a businesswoman, because as a businesswoman, I've had to pivot my business, and I've been, through so many different lives as different entrepreneurs. So tell us about that. I mean, like, in your business, you've had to pivot, you've had to reinvent yourself, you've had to change. So talk to me about the flexibility that you learned from your mom.
Yeah. Another reason for me and in my true respect and reverence for matriarchal power is the agility and the ability to multitask that women predominantly, whether they're predisposed or they're because of circumstances, they have to do it. And I've watched that like growing up, and I admire that. I don't necessarily have that, but I had to learn through it. And I think a lot of times, we take on different hats, different responsibility, and put like a lot of things on fires because we don't have the luxury of being a white person. Okay, where we can just do one thing and you're somehow rewarded for just showing up. We have to do the work. We have to show up, and not only do the work, do multiple works that all of a sudden the people look at us and be like, what? Okay, they are here. So there's no bitterness to it. There's no nothing, but that's a fact and the reality. And sooner we realize that, better. And I will say this. I keep on talking about women and feminine power and matriarchy, and women have it harder. And especially as brown women, it's even harder. So I know that about it. And in a country which seems to be awoke right now, conversation around race is very binary in America. Oftentimes the nuances around it is lost. So are our stories. So is our existence. Our struggle and our fight and our survival also is completely taken for granted. So I would say, what was the question?
I've forgotten. We were talking about pivoting and businesswomen. What's that?
Should we let them eat?
Yeah, should we let you guys eat?
Yeah, maybe.
Because there's a lot of noise and it's super distracting. So just being really honest up here. Oh gosh, that worked.
We'll keep it short. Let's just keep it short.
Okay, well, look, some of my final questions is really about, being an entrepreneur in America as an immigrant. What was that experience like?
Lonely, more often than not. And that's something that we don't really talk about is, the journey of self-discovery, whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you're working for someone, for an immigrant is often a lonely process. And there's a sense of unbelonging that happens, and we're constantly looking for community. And I do want to address, what the world sees when they see my life is really bold and beautiful, but most of the joys are very hard earned. And it's true for all of us, So I don't want to paint this picture that, I worked hard and I made it, I'm living the American dream. American dream is fractured. American dream is so complicated and complex. So I don't want anyone to walk away from here or listening to any one of us in this podium, hear our story and think, oh, I just have to do X, Y, Z and it'll happen to me. The process is long and arduous, and I do want to address this mental health the issues that is attached to it, the trauma that we go through, the trauma that our brown skin, the trauma like existing as a brown person, existing as a non-white person in a predominantly white world with a colonial lens and colonial idea is insanely traumatic, So I think it's important for us to sometimes not be successful. I think it's important for us to be, fail. Because I always say, white people are allowed so much mediocrity that sometimes we should be allowed to breathe as well. And that's extremely important. So I think sometimes, in the process of uplifting ourselves and our community, we talk about we celebrate the success. I think it is very important that we celebrate the process. A lot of people who are in the sidelines, and a lot of stories about failures, because when you talk about failures and the stories around that, as well as success, what it does is it humanizes us. People start to see us as not a monolithic idea, but human beings, that we matter, our existence matters. So I think it's extremely important that we do that, because our generation before us, our mothers, they always say, put your head down, do the work. And I always have this conversation with my mothers, the reason that I'm able to be where I am, because she allowed me to talk about my own pain, my own anxiety, my own, nervousness, my thing about my worries. And she's always said to me, when you find success, if you're this euphoric about it, you're going to be that depressed about your failures. So find a middle ground. And so that's what it is.
That's so true. And I think that we live in a world of such highs and lows.
Of course.
And then the other thing is just what's on Instagram isn't real, but you see everyone's successes because nobody's putting their failures on Instagram. Well, very few people are. But Prabal, I want to shift gears for a second because it was something that you did that was so exciting. The last Met Gala, you've been dressing... Yes, the last Met Gala. You've been dressing celebrities for such a long time. We're used to that. But we are not used to seeing a Sikh turban man called Diljit Dosanjh, couldn't get the words out, wearing Prabal Gurung. This was such an epic moment for so many people, for representation, for people to be seen, for people to feel like they belong. It meant so many things to so many people, but tell us about that experience, because it was epic. And by the way, I'd just like to say, I think there was a Vogue vote about the best dressed person, and I think Diljit won it, which was amazing, thanks to Prabal.
I would like to sit here. Wait. Is everything okay?
They told me that everyone wants to eat.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's fine. You guys should
They didn't
eat.
say that.
No. Okay, so
we want to know about Diljit, right?
Yeah.
We want to know about Diljit. Yes, they want to know about Diljit.
Okay, so Diljit, I have to start. That particular experience is one of the most humbling and gratifying experience of my entire career. I've been a huge fan of him. Oftentimes, watching him from afar, watching his performance as an actor, as a singer, performer, it's really inspiring that he is so unapologetically himself. There's no, catering to anyone or anything. He just truly believes in what he is and who he is. And that is the kind of power that we all want. That is, and so I was always inspired by him. So I have my brother who lives in Mumbai, and my sister who lives in Kathmandu, and we talk every morning. And because I'd taken Deepika earlier, Alia, and then we were talking about who should it be, and then Diljit's name came up, simply because of that. I feel like he's a self-made man, based on his talent and his grit and his tenacity. So when he said yes, it was, for me, there were two things. I don't know if a lot of people understand Hindi. I was like, "Marna nahi hai, marwana nahi hai." That's what I said. I
don't know what that means.
Okay,
What does
anyway,
that mean?
I'm not going to explain. Whoever gets it, gets it. So basically, I had not only the country, the continent to represent, and I felt that responsibility, and I really extremely felt honored. So when we went back and forth about conversation, I always ask everyone. I never tell them you should wear this. I always say, "What do you want to feel like? What do you want to represent? What do you want to feel?" Sometimes it can be just be, I want to look fabulous. I want to look like, have fun. But he was so clear in his intention about everything that he wanted to do. He was like, he said, "Pachi," I was like, like, "What is it that you want to do?" And he was like, very much, "This is what I want to do. This is the first time that I'm going there, and I wanted, we had a long chat and conversation about it. My job was simply to honor who he was, his heritage. He wanted to represent his people. He wanted to represent India, the country, and the continent. And what an honor. And the thing was, initially I was worried, will people know him? Typical, imposter syndrome. Even I have it. And everyone knew who he was. And the conversation between him and Shakira was like, "Oh, I love your music," and we're in the bus, and Shakira is being stitched in her dress, and and I'm like, that's my job. The most gratifying thing about my job is not the spotlight on me, because I don't necessarily like that. It's the fact that I'm able to dress people, create a table that looks like my personal dinner table, which is colorful and filled with different shapes and sizes of people, and then coming together and hopefully collaborating. And then to see, I remember going to Met Gala, I've been going for a couple of years now, and how it was, you would walk into the room and you'd clock few people of color, and then to walk into that room, this Met Gala, and to see filled with all these colorful different people, in different walks of life, and then to see people from our part of the world, to see there Priyanka, Diljit, Kiara, everyone. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, my goodness, I had never thought it would happen in my lifetime, and it is happening. And, and then to see Diljit's humility, that was the thing about it. He was sitting there, and I said, "Let me just take you around, let me introduce." And I said, "No, I'm okay," and then I said, "No, let me take you." So I introduced him to a few people, and the humility. What was really amazing reminder for me was, Met Gala can be daunting. It can be, sometimes people are fronting, To see a man in his full glory, so humble, reminded me of my own roots, reminded of who we all are. In the process of discovering and making name in ourselves in this new country, new home, one thing that really makes us who we are is the grace, the reverence, the respect, the culture that has been stolen and borrowed from us. Now finally we're able to claim it, and to be in that power, full power, was the most humbling and the most gratifying thing I've ever done in my life. So really.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Give it up, everyone, for Prabal Gurung.
Yeah. Thank you.
Be bold and walk like a girl.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, you guys. That was such a powerful conversation. Again, I said I wasn't going to cry, but I feel it coming already. Thank you again, Prabal and Angela, for that incredible conversation. And if you want to know more about Prabal's story, that was just a teaser. You'll find his book, his new memoir, Walk Like a Girl. They're in your bag, so please give this a read when you have a chance. Next, I want to introduce New York City Council member Sandra Ung and a representative for the Queensborough president for a special proclamation.
Good evening. I'm Councilwoman Sandra Ong, and I represent the district where SACSS is actually located. So I get to see every day the amazing work that SACSS is doing. I just want to thank Suda and really all the staff for all the work that you do. It is very difficult and challenging to do this work for our community. So tonight is about you and thanking you for your work. And now I have a New York City Council proclamation on behalf of actually all the New York Queens delegation, including my colleagues, Councilwoman Linda Lee and Shekhar Krishnan, that we'd like to present to Suda. It would be great if you could come up and do this really quickly. Thank you so much.
Good evening, good evening. Can you guys all hear me? All right.
I'll get the water.
I can't really hear you. I'm gonna try it one more time. Can everybody hear me right now? Thank you. Let's behave like South Asians. We're loud. Now, in case if you're wondering what is a restaurateur doing on stage right now, the answer is simple. You just had your meal. I'm here to collect some money. It's very simple. I've done this. I've made a business out of it. I am Ronnie Mazumdar. I am the founder and CEO of Unapologetic Foods. And I'm curious to know how many people have been to our restaurants. Dhamaka, Sema, Adda. All right, that's like barely half the crowd. Chef Vijay, we have some work to do. I'm here with my partner in crime, Chef Vijay. Can I hear some noise for Chef Vijay over here? Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Now, to kickstart things, I need my other partner in crime, Malvika. Can we get a big round of applause for her, please?
Can you guys hear me? I'm loud. I'm very loud. I don't need the mic. Anybody at the back? You can hear me? Awesome. How's the dinner? Thank you, Ronnie. I'm Malvika Kolar, and I am the board secretary here at South Asian Council for Social Services. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here.
Guys, I think we have a problem as South Asians, and I'm going to break it down for us. Every single one of us are taught to do our work with our head down, and when we do that, good things will happen. That's what we're told. But sometimes I think we need to make some noise. And sometimes organizations like SACSS, I don't think is making enough noise, because the truth is, if they did, I can almost guarantee you their name would be on every single billboard in New York for the amount that SACSS continues to make for all of us.
True that. True that.
Now, the purpose of right now is very simple. This is the whole reason why you're here. In case if you're wondering, the speeches didn't matter. It doesn't matter. Forget about them. We're here. Sorry, man. I know you're sad. I'm sorry. I apologize. But we're really here for your money. And I want to make it very loud and clear. This is a fundraiser dinner. We're here to support the right cause, for the right reason, for the work that SACSS has been doing. And sometimes I want to make it clear that we wonder, it's not really our problem, it's their problem. What do I mean by that? Every single one of us who are in suits and wonderful saris, we're fortunate enough to be around these tables. And when we talk about organizations like SACSS, we wonder, well, it's other people that might not be as fortunate, and we're here to support them. But the truth is, we're not just here to support them, we're here to support ourselves.
Agree. I cannot agree with you more. Thank you, Ronnie. I have to say, we are here for their money, we are here for their attention. So if we may have your attention, how's the dinner? I know we are standing between you and dessert. I know that officially. I wasn't supposed to tell you, but now I have. Only wine is allowed, so as much wine needed, you have it, but no coffee and dessert till we are there. Sorry. Thank you to all the speakers. You've been great. It's a tough act to follow, I promise. I am not a public speaker. We are not professional auctioneers, fundraisers. We are here because we are personally committed to SACSS. So thank you, each and every one of you. Can we have a round of applause for everyone here? Can we give ourselves a round of applause? There is no dearth of great organizations around us, and you chose to spend your time with SACSS today. So thank you. Can I have a round of applause, please? I can't hear it. I know some of you are still eating. Thank you, thank you. So let me give you really quickly, what we're going to do is quick show of hands. How many of you are new to SACSS or this is your first event at SACSS? Quick show of hands. I can't see. Oh, I still can. All right. Maybe about 50% of you are here for the first time. So that's incredible. We are going to take the opportunity to keep this quick, but keep this impactful. There, as Devi and the rest of the team mentioned before us, SACSS is the largest provider of free end-to-end social services for South Asians in the Metro New York area. So we're not going to go over every single program, but we're going to try and take the next couple of minutes to talk to you about the main areas of what SACSS does and how it supports the communities around us. So with that, if I can have your attention. So what we're going to do tonight is we are not bidding. We are not going to say, please do this or do that. What we're going to simply tell you in full transparency is the fundraising goal tonight is $500,000. Do you think it is possible for us at 25th anniversary of SACSS to raise $500,000? Ronnie, what do you say?
Every dollar above 500,000 will be donated directly to our restaurants to feed all of you. So please, beat that goal. I'm joking, it doesn't matter. Please, 500,000 for many galas is not that much, and we all know that. In the power that we have in this room, there's amazing talent I see all around. That's an easy goal for us to strive for. So I think we should go for doubling it. What do you say?
I hope so. What do you say? Do you think we can double it? Can we? Maybe? I like candor. You can tell us. Okay.
All right.
Let's see, Ronnie. Let's see. Let's see who wins.
We'll try our best. But guys, the goal is, please, tonight, it matters that much for you to give, for you to share, for you to support the community. We're here to talk about a few different things. One of them is food security. I don't need to tell you what food security means, but I'm here to tell you that it's a business that I have literally gotten myself involved in and why food matters. Food is so much more than just sustenance. Food builds trust. It builds a level of power in all of us. And in every single way, food insecurity can cause us to just simply not reach the potential that we're meant for. It's something that SACSS truly stands by. I've seen those lines that form. It's incredible. Guys, I was just a kid in the Bronx. That's where I grew up. And in many ways today, yes, we own restaurants, etc., and hard to get reservations, but it wasn't like that in my entire life. I remember my family living in the Bronx and us having our struggles, and going to Red Lobster meant a lot of a big deal. I still remember those Cheddar Bay biscuits. So for me, it's personal. And I think it's personal for all of us. So food security is a very deep and personal issue for all of us. And I really want us to understand how much it matters and what SACSS does for all of us.
Thank you, Ronnie. So if you see here, our fundraising target for tonight is $500,000, but we also want you to know what our annualized costs for each of these big pillars are. For food security, on an annual basis, we spend about $1.5 million. And for that, it is the largest expense is around food pantry, serving nourishing, culturally relevant food. we support up to 100 cancer patients with culturally relevant food, home delivery for chronically ill and homebound, and of course, families with seniors and children. So how do you support? Let me go through this very, very quickly. You have a QR code on your table. We also have volunteers in the room. You have different ways to support. You can support a particular pillar. You can support online. There are also those of you who would still like to write a check. There are some checks on your table. However you would like to support, please support. You can pay through your credit cards. You can pay through Google, Apple Pay. So I'd really like you to take a moment to consider supporting food security. Okay, so in addition to food security, I'd also like to talk about workforce development and enablement, which is also approximately an annualized cost of $1.5 million. And what that supports is Stitch with SACSS as our premier program for tailoring, empowering women to run their own businesses. They are trained to become professional tailors and seamstresses, providing computer classes, English as a second language class, legal clinics, and then, of course, the youth leadership programs. So between home food security and workforce development, those are our enablement, are our two biggest programs at SACSS. A quick show of hands. I know we are still eating. Anybody in the room for whom food security or workforce development is an important cause? Quick show of hands. Thank you.
All right, I'm actually curious before we move on to the other pieces is that it's not about why we're here, but I'm actually curious to know why you are here. So I'm going to jump out of the stage and I'm going to actually come to some of you and I'm going to ask you, why the heck did you show up tonight? Can I please do that? All right, let's do it. Sir, you look like you're extremely well dressed. I'm very curious to get to know you. Can you please share with all of us what brings you here tonight?
I'm here with my boss, Mumita Rahman. She's a keynote speaker and we're here to support her today.
Fantastic. Can we hear a big round of applause for this man here? It's always the back of the room that gives the most trouble. It's always, always, always. I don't see many people making eye contact. I'm going to find somebody. Hello there. Hi. Can we all say hello to the whole room?
Hi.
And just an answer of what brings you here tonight.
I'm here to support SACSS.
No, that's not an answer. A real answer. Real answer.
The real answer is we want to feed people.
All right, fair enough. Hello there. Why are you here tonight?
I'm on the board. I was forced to be here.
Just
kidding. Just kidding. I fell in love with SACSS 2 years ago, and I've been with them since.
I think I found the right person. As a board member, can you please share with the group if there's one reason they should donate tonight, what that reason should be?
I work in food. I'm a cookbook author, so I think if you want people to feel the difference between feeling fed and feeling nourished, then you should support SACSS.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful. Last person. I'm on the hunt. I am on the hunt. Who am I going to? Hello, sir. What is your name and tell us what brings you here tonight?
I'm Niranjan and I'm with this lovely lady who's a board member.
Fantastic. I feel like you're about to write a really huge check. Is it me or?
I think it's you, yeah.
Okay. All right. Look out for this man right there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you for sharing why you support, why this is important to you. Again, a quick reminder, you have QR codes right here. If anybody would like to support from using a check, please raise your hand. If anybody wants to use their credit card and their phones are not working, please raise your hands. The QR codes are right here. We want to take a few minutes to share two more key areas that might be close to some of your hearts. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. So I want to talk to you about healthcare access, healthcare in general. Quick show of hands, how many of us work in the healthcare industry? I know we have some sponsors here. Quick show of hands, how many of us work in healthcare industry? I can see some. Yep. All right. So thank you, Anita. So healthcare is again a big part of SACSS's offerings to its communities. When we talk about healthcare, it's about access to SNAP, to Medicare, to Medicaid, to available benefits to our community members. And please, this is not just for those who may not have the appropriate funds, but this is also for those who may have the funds but do not have the access, or their access has been denied. You heard about mental health services, cancer survivor navigation, maternal and newborn care, and of course, chronically disability support. So healthcare at an annualized basis is $1 million, but collectively, again, today we are trying to raise $500,000 across these 4 areas.
And the final piece is senior support. There's something that, hey guys, can we all just for a moment, let's all just pause, can we please? This is the last part. I promise, I understand we're all hungry still. I just need everybody to take a minute, take a deep breath. We're almost there. And that means everybody, please. Thank you. I'm so sorry, I don't mean to share crazy information, but this is important, and that's the whole purpose of tonight. The purpose of senior care is something that's really critical. I have personally visited the SACSS facility, and for me to go there and see individuals like my parents or my grandparents who actually feel like they have a resource is tremendously powerful. And these are from phone support to the kind of food that they want. There are wonderful opportunities that I believe SACSS has been creating, and that's what this evening is about. Thank you.
I forgot my mic. Thank you, Ronnie. So I want to make sure. No, thank you. Anybody who wants to use checks, you have envelopes on your table. Anyone who wants to support online, you have the QR code on your table. So I just want to take 10 more seconds to say how far your support goes. Again, a simple donation of $1,000. Each and every one of us are capable of supporting SACSS here today. Beyond your presence, please understand that right here in the middle of New York City, your support goes really far. Your dollars go really far. 85 cents on every dollar donated goes directly to programs. That's incredible for an organization that works right here in the heart of New York. So with that, I just wanted to take a moment and say, with $1,000, you can feed a family of 4. You can support seniors, 10 classes rather, of seniors up to 35 for one of their well-beings. Support 5 disabled or cancer patients with benefits and critical resources. And we have MSKCC in the room somewhere, right? Do we have Francesca Gainey here? A huge supporter, I can't see. But MSKCC is a huge supporter and partner of SACSS. So again, just imagine, as you enjoy this wonderful evening, this wonderful meal with your friends and family, your presence can go beyond in terms of the support. Yeah? Quick raise of hands. Sorry. A quick show of hands. How many of us are supporting or will consider to support SACSS today or in 2025? I don't see a lot. I see some. Quick show of hands. Thank you. How is the dessert, by the way? I thought the dessert is going to be held back. Amazing. Awesome. Are you going to go ahead and support SACSS? Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your time, for your attention, for your support. We really, really appreciate it. And now off to some fun part.
Fantastic. Thank you, guys. Can we get a big round of applause for the entire room, for your entire support this evening? Thank you. Thank you all.
Hi, friends. Okay, I'm so sorry to do this. I promise this is our last little bit of the night before the fun really begins. We're going to have a really cool performance coming up in just a few minutes, so stay with me here. Next, I want to invite to the stage someone who's been part of the SACSS family from the very beginning, New Jersey Councilwoman Sonia Gavas.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Who's having fun tonight? All right, thank you. Well, I was put on spot. I was not prepared to speak. I have known Sudhaji for 24 years. My journey started with SACSS as a 9/11 victim's spouse. So I met Sudhaji in September of 2001 after the horrific attacks of September 11th. That's when I met her. I was a very newlywed person in this new country. And few months into my marriage, I lost my husband, my first love, to 9/11. That's when Sudhaji came to my life. She is the one who found me, helped me, found... All right, I think everybody is very busy. I am a PTA mom. I can be loud. And I'm a councilwoman in West Windsor. Anybody from West Windsor, Plainsboro over here? My husband over here, he's a volunteer firefighter. Any firefighters in the room? All right, I think I got everybody's attention. I just wanted to say thank you to Sudhaji. My introduction to Sudhaji and SACSS was when I was at my lowest lows. I was a newlywed person in this country, and I lost my first love to the horrific attacks of September 11th. So that's when SACSS came into my life, found me, found my people, my community, and helped me grow. So 24 years later, from that little girl who was very scared, I was 25 then, I'm aging myself, but now I am a mom of two, I am a proud wife of a volunteer firefighter, and I am a breast cancer survivor. I am still in treatments, so I am on my tail end of my treatments, and I am a proud councilwoman of West Windsor. So I just want to say thank you to Sudhaji for helping me when I needed her the most.
I need your attention, okay? Here is a lady whom we've known since 9/11, okay? Hello, guys. Hello. Yeah. Actually, this is such an incredible story. After losing her husband in 9/11, look what she's done to her life. She's grown and she's become a professional. She's become the council member of West Windsor Township. Got re-elected again. I would like to invite Sibu Nair, Governor Hochul's Deputy Director of Asian Affairs, to come with me to really felicitate Sonia Gavas, whom we love.
I can't believe how big the organization is. We would like to...
All right, friends. One of my favorite parts of nights like this is seeing how beautifully everyone is dressed. And I don't know about you, but when I get to wear clothes from my own culture, hear music that is representative of the things I grew up listening to and I grew up watching, I just really feel in my element. So I think you're gonna enjoy what we have coming up for you next. You're probably noticing that there are some stunning women in some really incredible outfits here. So we're gonna give you an amazing fashion show. But first, I want to welcome on stage the only person who I know who is a professional chef and a professional singer. You might know him on social media as the singing chef. This is Kunal Lamba.
Good evening, New York. Is that loud enough? You know I sing, so I know how to handle a microphone. Shh. You're in a public gathering, not your drawing room. Relax. You are fed now, you've eaten, you've drunk, and now let's party, or let the show begin, as they say. I'm gonna sing Bollywood. How's that? Before I do that, I'm also gonna give a break to Chanel because I'm gonna be emceeing this fashion show. So, is the music ready? Tonight we celebrate Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month through a spectacular showcase of traditional and modern attire. I'm reading, as you can say. Designed and tailored by our own talented SACSS graduates. Okay. What makes this showcase truly special is that these tailors have recently completed just 10 weeks of hands-on classes at SACSS. And with heart, skill, and creativity, they brought these ensembles to life for this evening. Each piece tells a story of culture, creativity, and empowerment. Big words, I know. Let's begin the journey across Asia, one outfit at a time. Let the show begin. First, from Bangladesh, we present Bangladesh, everyone. We present a hand-painted red and white cotton sari, an elegant nod to Poila Boishakh, the Bengali New Year, a vintage-style blouse with lace accents, and completes this festive and refreshing ensemble. Next one, the Gujarati sari. This is gonna be the loudest. How many Gujus in the house? Next, from Gujarat, India, we showcase a stunning orange Banarsi silk sari draped in distinctive Gujarati style. Its gold zari work and black back-tied blouse celebrate traditional artistry with vibrant charm. Next up, from China, Cheongsam, also called as Kipao. Am I pronouncing it right? Maybe just like our president. From China, we present the classic Cheongsam, a royal blue satin dress with a high mandarin collar, floral frog buttons. I've never heard of frog buttons, and modern details. China. A little too much China. Everything is made in China. Mandarin Jacquard West. Also from China, a striking Jacquard West featuring dragon motifs. Okay. Merging ancient symbolism with contemporary flair. It's versatile layer for any wardrobe. Let's go to Nepal. How many Nepalese in the house? Pardon my French, but it's called Gunyu Cholo. Am I pronouncing it right? Gunyu Cholo from Nepal, where tradition meets vibrance. A Gunyu Cholo ensemble features a pleated skirt, a velvet cholo. Choli means cholo. You know, choli ke piche kya hai? Cholo. Draped with a richly embellished garlic. The bold orange and purple hues, combined with intricate details, breathe new life into this beloved national costume. The next up is my home country, Punjab. Only a Punjabi can talk like that, right? Lehenga Choli from Punjab, India. In vibrant celebration comes this Lehenga Choli from Punjab. A fuchsia brocade skirt paired with a sunny yellow satin choli and a zari striped chunari captures the spirit of weddings, festivals, and all things joyful in South Asian culture. Let me say one thing. If you're a Gujarati or a Marathi or a South Indian, you all dance to Punjabi music in your weddings, right? Give it to the Punjabis for that. Let's go to Pakistan. Garara suit. I love the applause. There you go. Garara suit from Pakistan presents gold embroidered mesh lace, scalloped edges, shimmering dupatta. This outfit is pure sophistication. The Garara pants with their flared silhouette add classic grace to this stunning look. I love AI. I got it all from there. Next one is South Asian Western fusion. All you glamorous women are wearing this genre tonight. Coordinated pantsuit, modern meets traditional in this bold black and white palm paint pantsuit. The wide-legged pants matching open coat redefine elegance while staying rooted in comfort. Perfect for work, play, or a powerful entrance. Filipiniana Bolero. I'm saying it in a very Spanish way. It's Philippines. A nod to Philippines, the Filipiniana Bolero features delicate gold lace, sequins, and traditional butterfly sleeves. A regal yet versatile piece. It elevates any outfit from gowns to denim with grace and heritage. And finally, we have the showstopper. We have the kaftan, which is pan-Asian. We close with the regal red velvet kaftan adorned with silver lace and floral applique. A truly global silhouette, uniting tradition from Asia, Africa, and the Middle East in one stunning garment. And as our models take our one final walk, let's celebrate not just their beauty, but the stories, dreams, and determination stitched into every piece. To our tailoring graduates, thank you. Where are the tailoring graduates? Your creativity and courage have lit up this runway. You are a future of fashion and the heart of SACSS. If anyone is interested in purchasing any of these lovely outfits, please speak to any of the SACSS staff. I do have the discount code as well, who are in the room. Let's give them all a round of applause. One disclaimer, they are not professional models. They are like you and me who are doing this. They deserve a louder round of applause. Thank you, ladies. Shall we do some Bollywood? All right. I'm going to take you to 1944. There was no country called Pakistan then. There was only United British India. But there was something. It was called the Indian film industry. The songs which we listen to in today's world mostly are from the 50s. How many of you were alive in the 40s? Anyone? Anyone alive in the 40s? No one's 80th birthday? There are a couple of people. I'm going to take you through a journey from 1940s to 2024 in 10 minutes. And I'm going to sing a song from each decade. The first song is by Noor Jahan. Noor Jahan was a Bollywood singer who chose to remain in Pakistan. She didn't come to our country. Fair enough. We had Muhammad Rafi and Lata Mangeshkar. Why not? So this is 1940s. DJ, can I have the effects? Can I have the music? Here we go. Sing along. अखियां मिला के जिया भरमा के चले नहीं जाना हो चले नहीं जाना अखियां मिला के जिया भरमा के चले नहीं जाना हो चले नहीं जाना. Can we have track up 1950s. मेरा नाम चिन चिन चू बाबा चिन चू रात चांदनी मैं और तू हेलो मिस्टर हाउ डू यू डू मेरा नाम चिन चिन चू बाबा चिन चू रात चांदनी मैं और तू हेलो मिस्टर हाउ डू यू डू बाबा बाबा बाबा. 1950s. Who's the singer? Geeta Dutt. बाबूजी मैं चीन से आई चीनी जैसा दिल लाई सिंगापुर का जोगन मेरा शंघाई की अंगड़ाई दिल पर रख ले हाथ जरा हो जाए ना पागल तू दिल पर रख ले हाथ जरा हो जाए ना पागल तू मेरा नाम चिन चिन चू बाबा चिन चू रात चांदनी मैं और तू हेलो मिस्टर हाउ डू यू डू. 1960s. आजा आजा मैं हूँ प्यार तेरा अल्लाह अल्लाह इनकार तेरा हो आजा 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 मैं हूँ प्यार तेरा अल्लाह अल्लाह इनकार तेरा हो आजा 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 आजा. 1970s, I think so. I'm forgetting. Sing along, you know the words. It's very therapeutic. Sing along, come on. What were you doing in 1970s? Think. चुरा लिया है तुमने जो दिल को नजर नहीं चुराना सनम बदल के मेरी तुम जिंदगानी कहीं बदल ना जाना सनम हो ले लिया दिल हाय मेरा दिल हाय दिल लेकर मुझको ना बहलाना, चुरा लिया है तुमने जो दिल को, नजर नहीं चुराना सनम, बदल के मेरी तुम जिंदगानी, कहीं बदल ना जाना सनम। 1980s जीनत अमान। जैसा कोई मेरी जिंदगी में आए तो बात बन जाए, हाँ बात बन जाए। आप जैसा कोई मेरी जिंदगी में आए तो बात बन जाए, हाँ बात बन जाए। फूल को बाहर, बाहर को चमन, दिल को दिल, बदन को बदन, हर किसी को चाहिए तन मन का मिलन। काश मुझ पर ऐसा दिल आपका भी आए तो बात बन जाए, हाँ बात बन जाए। आप जैसा कोई मेरी जिंदगी में आए तो बात बन जाए, हाँ बात बन जाए। 1990s. Salman Khan was cute at that time, right? 1990s. I don't think he's cute now. He's a thug now. बहुत प्यार करते हैं तुमको सनम, आपके लिए बहुत प्यार करते हैं तुमको सनम। कसम चाहे ले लो, कसम चाहे ले लो, खुदा की कसम। बहुत प्यार करते हैं तुमको सनम, बहुत प्यार करते हैं तुमको सनम। We have come to this millennium, 2020. Subhan Allah, 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 Subhan Allah. चांद सिफारिश जो करता हमारी, देता वो तुमको बता। शर्मो हया के पर्दे गिरा के करनी है हमको खता। जिद है अब तो है खुद को मिटाना, होना है तुझ में फना। चांद से फारिश जो करता हमारी, देता वो तुमको बता। शर्मो हया के पर्दे गिरा के करनी है हमको खता। 2010. Can I have the track up a little? राहत फतेह अली खान। ऐसे लहरा के तू रूबरू आ गई, ऐसे लहरा के तू रूबरू आ गई। धड़कने बेतहाशा धड़कने लगी, धड़कने बेतहाशा धड़कने लगी। तीर ऐसा लगा दर्द ऐसा जगा, तीर ऐसा लगा दर्द ऐसा जगा। चोट दिल पे वो खाई मजा आ गया, मेरे रश के कमर। ओ मेरे रश के कमर तूने पहली नजर जब नजर से मिलाई मजा आ गया होश ही होश में मेरी आगोश में आके तू जो समाई मजा आ गया मेरे रश के कमर तूने पहली नजर जब नजर से मिलाई मजा आ गया जब नजर से मिलाई मजा आ गया. And the final song, Arijit Singh, 2023. मुझको इतना बताए कोई. Sing along. कैसे तुझसे दिल ना लगाए कोई रब्बा ने तुझको बनाने में कर दी है हुस्न की खाली तिजोरियां काजल की सियाही से लिखी है तूने जाने कितनों की लव स्टोरियां केसरिया तेरा इश्क है पिया रंग जाऊं जो मैं हाथ लगाऊं दिन बीते सारा तेरी फिक्र में रहन सारी तेरी खैर मनाऊं. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure singing for you tonight. Thank you so much. This is the end of this gala. Get home safe. Good night. Follow me on Instagram, Singing Chef Kunal. You will not find another singing chef on the gram with a blue tick. Thank you. Good night.